NFL Sunday, and it doesn't get any more lopsided than this as we cut this video. If you go to sportsbookspy.com, and this is Thursday evening, the Denver Broncos have received 90% of the ATS tickets in this game. 90% of the folks are laying the points. 93% of the total bets have been on the over in this game. And we know Bryan Leonard, he's always on the public. No, I'm kidding. And Bryan Leonard, this is your best bet. We're going to get to that in just a moment. But Carolina comes into this game, I still think underrated. 2-6 straight up. Yeah, but this might be the best 2-6 straight up team that we've seen in a while. 5 of their losses have come by a grand total of 18 points. This team is a couple of plays away from being 5-3 or even 6-2 straight up. They should have beat Chicago. They're up 19-7 midway through the fourth quarter of that one. They lost to the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta on the last drive of the game with under a minute to go. And they're just a couple of plays away from beating Dallas, Seattle, and Tampa Bay. That close to being maybe 6-2. I still give them a lot of credit. Been on them the last couple of weeks. What do you think about this game?
You stole all my notes. I have nothing to look at now.
I got a mirror over your shoulder, by the way. I'm checking out your notes.
All right, there you go. The point of the matter is, if you follow the NFL, and I believe we all do, the team that is getting all the hype this week, you want no part of, because it's one of those situations where whoever's getting the hype loses. The next week, the next team is up. They're the best team. Early in the season, I was a victim of this. I talked about Houston when they played Green Bay.
Right.
No way they should have been close. Well, now Houston's gone, and now Denver's the play-on team. A lot of people see the situation last week. They go into Cincinnati. Cincinnati was coming off a bye, but you got a Cincinnati team with not one of the best coaches in the NFL, and a situation where the entire team, half of them have either been in jail or will soon be in jail.
Usually works at the college level, though.
Well, so when you got an extra week, you don't know how prepared they're going to be. But you got a Carolina team here, and you hit it on the nose. I mean, Carolina is played far better than what their record shows right now, and the lines are roughly the same. And and you get 90% of the public on a road favorite. I don't want that road favorite.
Yeah, neither do I, although the public did extremely well. The books really took it on the chin this past week in the NFL, and I was doing the Monday night first preview radio show with Chris Andrews, Marco, and he goes, I can't give out the name, I can't reveal the name of the bookmaker, but he's right now on the edge of the Stratosphere Hotel, which, by the way, is about 1,500 feet off the strip, in case people don't know. But it was a tough week for the books. But you know what? Cincinnati lost the game. And by the way, I was on Cincinnati for full disclosure. They may have lost that game, but they laid the blueprint for how to attack this Denver defense. Jermaine Gresham is the tight end for Cincinnati, and I think he had 7 or 8 receptions for over 100 yards. They've got a guy by the name of Greg Olsen that plays for Carolina. He's a heck of a tight end. I think they can go to him, and then that eventually stretches that defense where the receivers can get behind them, because guys like Champ Bailey, they got to come out and help against the tight end.
Well, I was on Cincinnati as well last week for full disclosure, so we get all that out of the way. I'm the situational guy, and everything you guys said, obviously nuts and bolts, we're going to look at Carolina. But from a situational standpoint, it gives you even more reason to look at Carolina. You've got Denver coming cross country for the second week in a row. You got a West Coast team playing a 1 o'clock game again. Travel back-to-back weeks.
Not a West Coast team.
Well, it's close enough. It's close enough. Okay. They're in that time zone.
A mountain time zone.
Enough. They're traveling each 2 weeks in a row.
You can smack me later.
You are. But the other part is, last week's game at least was Cincinnati. It was an AFC game. We talk all the time about how you stack up the importance of games. The least important game for any team is a road game against a non-conference opponent. What do we have this week? They're playing an NFC team. So this is their least important game. They've got a division game up next against San Diego, which San Diego's got that game circled on their calendar. I don't know if they can do anything about it, but they got that game circled on their calendar after the Monday night debacle. So it's just a bad spot for them. My only concern is we are still talking about Carolina and Cam Newton. He's always just one play away from doing something stupid or doing something great. Which Cam Newton are we going to get? But like you said, this team's been in every ball game this year. How can you not look at them playing at home?
And the thing is, Brian, this is your best bet. I'm going to give it to you here in just a second. Cam Newton, by the way, I don't have a problem with what he was upset about in those post-game press conferences. It was just the way he said it. But he's a young guy. You give me $10 or $15 million at that age, and I'm probably Darryl Strawberry also. Not on the field, but I mean in the nightclubs. Anyway,
you can still be obnoxious even now.
I'm going to take the point with the home dog here. I bet it plus 4.5 earlier, sitting at 4 now. It wouldn't surprise me once the public gets involved on Sunday that this game goes a little bit higher again. But you've got a situation where everybody's on Denver right now. And you take a look at Denver. They played 4 good teams this year. They played Pittsburgh. They beat Pittsburgh by 12, and Pittsburgh was really injured they weren't a very good team at that point. They lose to Atlanta by 6. They lose to Houston by 6. They lose to New England by 10. Is Carolina in that area? No, but you're also getting 4, possibly more points here with the Carolina team, who I think is really a 500 ball club. So you're getting good points here because of Carolina's record. I'll take the points here with the home dog.
It's Brian's best bet, the home dog Carolina Panthers. It's a 3-person sweep here going against the public, who are heavily on the Denver Broncos. When we come back, we got the Cowboys and the Eagles, and more to come right here at pregame.tv.